Hey y'all, what's up? Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to the channel. Okay. Quite a few of you guys have asked me in the comment section to talk about the story about Naziah Harris. Okay. And I am going to do the best that I can. I feel like I'm still grabbing a lot of information about her story. Um, because it's been so long since she's been missing, and it's so many, additional details to the story. Okay. But I'll give you guys the best of what I have and give you guys my thoughts, all right? And best of what I have for the people that are just now hearing about Naziah's story for the first time, okay? First of all, before I get too deep into this video, I have to shout out Nick at Night because she did a 4 to 5 hour long video that detailed a lot of information regarding this case with Naziah Harris. And I was watching hour long videos of the hearing, because there is a hearing regarding her case, and we'll get into all of that. And I've probably watched 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, probably 20 hours worth of information, hearing information on this particular case, hearing from a lot of different witnesses and things. And experts regarding her case. But if you want the short version, a quicker version, and you have the time, I think Nick at Night will give you a lot of what you are looking for in that video. I think she may have been covering this story for some time, I'm not sure, but I know a more up-to-date version is on her channel. Okay, so this young lady that you see here, her name is Naziah Harris, and she went missing, from my understanding, around January 9th of 2024. She went missing at the age of 13. I really feel like with this young lady, a lot of people failed her. That's just what it is. A lot of people failed this young lady. And it's not, I can't even say young lady. It's a girl. It's a little girl, period. 13 years old. This is a little girl. Okay. So excuse me for even saying young lady. This is a little girl, age 13. The man that you see pictured next to her is a guy by the name of Jarvis Butts, who's about 41 years of age. Okay. He may have been about 40 at the time that this baby girl went missing. Okay. Um, he was supposed to be her uncle. It is so much history to this man, which is crazy. Okay. So what we learned is that this little girl went missing January 9th of 2024. Till this day, her body has yet to be found. All right. Prosecutors are trying to move forward with charging him with murder, and they are currently having a hearing, or have already had a hearing with the judge, to see if they can move forward to charge him in the case of this missing baby girl. All right. So Naziah went missing January 9th. It's so many, like I said, moving parts. This man was her uncle by way of one of her aunts. All right. So Naziah has a brother, from my understanding, and I believe that her parents weren't as involved in her life. I believe her mother had some issues and things that led to the grandmother adopting her and her brother. And she may have another sibling, but I'm only hearing about the brother. So the grandmother adopted Naziah and the brother, and they lived with her. Okay. At one point, I do believe they lived with her mom and her grandmother. And then at some point, the grandmother did get custody of them. All right. Now, her aunt, who happens to have a twin sister, also lived in the house. Not sure of the aunt's name at this time, but she lived in the house. And the aunt may have had 3 or 4 kids, but she's had quite a few children. And she has those children with this man here, Mr. Jarvis Butts. All right. It didn't seem like the aunt and Jarvis were actually together. It just seems like they may have had a sexual relationship where she believed she was his girlfriend, because then we learned, as they brought into the courtroom, a completely separate woman that happened to be his fiance, who also has a daughter and a son, but not by him. We also learned of another woman that he has a child with. That was his girlfriend. So Jarvis Butts has been around here having plenty of girlfriends, and he often befriends and, work on relationships with women that already have children, primarily a daughter of some sort. Okay. There have been a lot of rumors out there about him. And again, I'm still diving deeper into information about him, because I'm learning that he's violated his own child. He's violated somebody else's child. It's been alleged that he's giving an STD to one of his baby girls. Like, this man has a problematic history. He has been locked up before from my understanding, child molestation, or I will say a crime against a child. He was locked up before. And you know what really pisses me off with this case is not only did the people fail her, I mean, they just failed her in more ways than one, because I do believe that they were highly aware of his actions. Okay. Mr. Butts developed a relationship with Anaya. I'm not sure how early it began, but they do have text messages that went back as far as 2022 and 2023. And they read those text messages in court. Now, Jarvis tried to play it up as though he was not sure why this baby girl went missing, hasn't had any contact with her or anything, but his associate's friend's sister, a co-worker, whatever, his sister, the guy he worked with, and another friend came to the front to say that they saw her on the day that she went missing at his auto shop. So for him to act like he don't know where she was or where she went missing, there are clues that are lining up to him as to why they believe he had something to do with her not being found to this day. The baby girl usually has some type of activity on social media, and after she went missing, no more activity at all. So it's reason to believe that she is no longer with us, and they have yet to find her body. All right. So now they're trying to move forward with a murder charge. They have reason to believe that this baby is dead and that he has something to do with it, as he's the last person to be in contact with her, and cell phone pings appear to connect him to the area. All right. I think their cell phones together may have pinged in similar areas or whatnot. So they are believing that he has something to do with it. Okay. According to, also, I believe there's some camera footage out there. He's had phone calls. Like, it's so much, y'all. And I did not fully organize everything before I hopped on to talk about it, but I know I've got, like, every day for about a week, I've been getting people like, hey, Jami, you're going to talk about this, you're going to talk about this, you're going to talk about this, and I've been putting it off because I wanted it to be more organized for you guys so I can just, like, really give you a raw layout. But I'm just going to direct you guys to Nick at Night's video, and then you can just come back and hear more of my tidbits and my opinion about this. But that man, girl, I'm pissed because the grandmama she did her testimony or interview, whatever it was, in court. And she made it seem like her relationship with Naziah was so close, and she would tell her anything if she's going through issues and stuff like that. Your relationship with this little girl is so close. She would tell you about issues, but when she went missing, you didn't report her missing until the next day. So she said she didn't even go to the police. She went to the school, from my understanding. Now, she says that her routine is so strict that once she comes home from school, she goes straight to the house. Like, she's at home by a certain time. And I'm like, that's not always true, because according to the text messages, it seems like she wasn't always going straight home. And I'm sure she probably said, oh, I'm with Jarvis, so I'm this or that. Whatever it is, I feel like people have an idea when their child is potentially being violated. All right. And I feel like every woman in that house knew of his history. It's so many thoughts that's going through my head right now, because the grandmama was trying to play it out like, oh, Naziah is like this, she's like that. We have a close relationship. If something was going wrong, she would tell me. When the kids got to the house, because the grandmother picked up, I guess, the other kids from after school care. They get to the house and Naziah is nowhere to be found. So they go in there. The aunt is there, the one that's in the relationship with Jarvis. And they ask her, like, has Naziah made it home? And she's like, no, she hasn't made it home. The aunt says, nah, she ain't here yet. Hours passed, and she's asking her mom, do you want me to call the cops? And her mama said, no, I'll call in the morning. So for you to be a grandma to say that you'll call the next morning, it kind of makes me think, is this typical behavior or something? Like, does she always, like, come in late? And if that is the case, I'm not going to blame that baby. I'm going to blame you, and also blame you for sitting in the court's face and lying, trying to portray a certain image when her text messages that they get into show something completely different. Okay. It's just, it's a lot. She will always make it seem like in the In the testimony in court, the grandmother said that Jarvis has never come into the house. So she says she would make it seem like he would just be outside and the daughter would go out. Her daughter would go outside. I can't, which is the aunt to Naziah. She would just go outside and talk to him. But when the daughter did her testimony, she made it seem like sometimes he'll come up to the door or come in. When you read the text messages, it seems like he had access to come straight on into the house without an issue. I feel like the grandmother knew this man was a pedophile the whole time and did not want to say, oh, he has been in the home or something like that, out of fear that they probably would try to come and take the kids that she does have from her. All right, because she has decided to adopt those children, so they're under her custody. And now you have a child that's gone missing and has been violated by this very man, and therefore you did not protect her. So she probably doesn't want the hammer to come down on her for her damn actions. And then the sister, I just feel like y'all couldn't have been around Naziah as much as y'all have and been around Jarvis as much as y'all have and not noticed something. The sister got on the stand, or shall I say the aunt got on the stand and tried to make it seem like she wasn't aware of anything, didn't know anything that was happening to them. It was normal behavior whenever they were around each other. It was nothing of the sort. Like I didn't notice anything. When I did get her iPad and I plugged it up, I saw that I went to her Instagram. I saw there were some messages and I asked him about it, but the messages, you couldn't really tell what it was, but I could tell there was like some type of scent, I guess like a fragrance or something that was sent to him. So she asked him, what's up with, you messaging her? And he tried to say, oh, maybe one of the kids messaged me from her profile. And she's like, no, I know how my kids talk. And I know how my kids interact with you, and that's not it. But it's like, girl, you knew that man had some issues. You knew that man had some issues, okay? I want to get both of these individuals up on the screen, but then I also wanted to get a press conference from when the grandmother first gave her thoughts when Naziah first went missing a while back. And I just felt like there were no tears coming from the grandmother. Let me see. This might be it. Is this it when the grandmother comes to the front to speak? Okay, yeah. So we'll get into that as well. All right. But as you can see, the woman with the wig above Jarvis is the grandmother. In the photo above Naziah is the aunt and Jarvis, his baby mama. Okay, I think they may have about 3 kids together or whatever the case. You know what was really interesting when they were reading the text messages, because he would sit up there and ask her to suck his dick. He would tell her to, meet him in a certain area without her underwear on, meet me in the basement. He said something about he snuck into her room and stole her panties or whatever the case is. Like, it was just a lot of weird stuff. He would tell her this DICK is hers. All of her is his. Talking to a 13-year-old baby like she is 31 years old or something. Okay? And I haven't seen the actual comments of people blaming Naziah, but I have seen people checking individuals for trying to blame Naziah. At the end of the day, all right, because people love to say that a child is fast. This man is an adult before anything. So before she knew right from wrong, his ass did. And this is also a repeat offender. And if there is anyone in the world that would try to blame this baby for anything, I question you and who you got around your fucking kids, okay? Period. And I'm like, I know people are not doing. Now, I haven't seen it, okay? But I have seen people checking folks like, not y'all trying to blame this girl or whatever the case is. And I just cannot, like, that's a grown man that has children, multiple children. I think they say the man has about 13 kids. You have an issue, okay? His sister testified against him on what she witnessed as far as seeing the young girl at the shop before she disappeared. Another friend acknowledged some things. I believe the worker that he would work with acknowledged some stuff. All right, so it's crazy. I am going to play a bit of news clippings for us to hear more on the matter at hand. But right now, I want to jump to back when she went missing. Okay, so she went missing on January 9th. I don't believe that it was reported until the 10th by the school. The grandmother said she was going to report it, but they said, hey, don't worry about it. We'll take care of that for you. We'll report that, all right, to the police, and they got involved. And then here we are. So they've been doing a search for her, trying to, identify her whereabouts. They were able to find some clothing over time of hers. I believe there was blood on some of the clothing. There were holes in her shirt. So I don't know if they're trying to insinuate that she may have been, hit with a gun or something. The night that Naziah went missing, he borrowed another baby mama's car, not her aunt, but another baby's mama's car. All right. I believe he left his phone in her car. I think he was trying to get her to wipe down things, to wipe down evidence, and she wasn't willing to do that. She did absolutely nothing, and I'm so glad that she didn't. It's been a lot, because here's the thing. Jarvis was supposed to be going to jail, from my understanding, turning himself in for another crime against another child, from my understanding. Around that time, they ended up pushing the date back. And I think he was supposed to report on the 9th. Well, instead of him, I guess he got pushed back again from the 9th. So what he chose to do was go and link up with Naziah. Now, Jarvis and Naziah would have a lot of sex, okay? And I don't even like to say it like that, because he took advantage of her, period. All right? This is a child that's around the same age as your damn children. Like, the audacity, like, the man is a sicko. So she mentions her stomach hurting at one point, and she's already taken Plan Bs before. All right. And this time, I believe it was in the fall of 2023. All right. She was talking about her stomach hurting and stuff. She was talking about missing her cycle. And then at one point in the messages, she talks about how she is having a hard time, doing the gym at school, doing her gym class because of this baby. So it's clear that she was pregnant, and the fact that she would be letting him know would let us know that she's pregnant with his child. There's also been times throughout the text messages where she has been trying to prove to him that she's not messing with anyone else, and that he is the only one. Ain't that crazy? Playing on this girl's mind. Meanwhile, dipping in and out of the bed with her aunt. And ain't no telling who else, while he has a whole other fiance that has a daughter and a son. Okay. And the other baby mama so cool enough that she lets him use her car. So you must still be zicking her down. Just around here diddy bopping, hunching on all of these women. And then violating the children around them. Like, this man needs to be castrated. Okay. But right now, it's not a trial. It's a hearing where we're learning evidence, right? We're learning about some things in order to get the judge to take it to trial. And my thing is, girl, this needs to be the trial. But you know what? We'll hold off. Let's bring in more of the trial, because I feel like with the trial, it's likely going to expose that grandmama, and it's likely going to expose that damn aunt. And I refuse to believe that more things aren't going to come out for them, or some's going to come after them, whether they be charged for some type of negligence, right? For their behavior. I don't know if they had any involvement in it in any capacity. I don't want to put that on them, because I don't know. But I do believe they were aware of what was going on, and the way the grandma tried to get on the stand and play it up like, oh, Jarvis never came inside the house. Girl, stop lying. Because what it sounds like is you're trying to say a pedophile never came inside the house around the other kids, when it's clear as day that he has. And then she tried to make it seem like the aunt didn't live with her, but it seems like the aunt very well lived at the house with you. So yeah, bring it to trial, because we're going to end up learning more information about what was really going on inside that house. All right. And one of the aunts went and did an interview, or family member, cousin did an interview I think it was like earlier on when this situation happened, and she was always concerned about Naziah and the kids, because she felt like something was going to happen to them anyway, being over there with the grandma and them. She wouldn't show her face because she didn't want the backlash, but she did a sit-down interview. And I'm like, you bitches is raggedy. You bitches is whack. I do not trust them. Listening on to their testimonies on that stand, y'all were over there contradicting yourselves. Miss Aunt, Miss Grandmama are not to be trusted. Okay, now I'm not blaming them for the involvement of this baby going missing and potentially being dead. But what I will say, okay, is that you guys were aware of what was happening to her, just a piece. Just a piece, and I don't know if you may have had an inkling, but didn't want to dive deeper into it because you don't want to bring out what if it is true. Don't want to bring no skeletons or something out. I think it was things that was happening and you guys intentionally overlooked it when you guys should have been protecting her. And then the grandmama want to say she went through her phone a few times and looked through her phone and she didn't see certain stuff. Stop lying, ma'am. Stop lying. You wasn't up on that girl like that, checking on that girl like that. You weren't. Stop lying. It's crazy. And Nazia's dad ended up passing away in the midst of trying to find out what happened to her and everything. So it's just a lot of shit with this story. And it really pisses you the fuck off, okay? It really, really does. I don't know if it's a good thing that I wasn't following it from the very beginning because I don't know, I'll probably be even more upset. Right? But then I wish that I could give you guys more in detailed information. And who knows, at some point I might not, sometimes I don't have the time, but I do want us to get into some things on today. So let's get into a piece of what this grandmother had to say when she had to come to the front to speak to the people about her grandbaby.
I'm asking anyone that knows anything about my granddaughter, please contact the police department. She's been missing for a very long time. Nazia is a very sweet child. This is not of her character. We've been looking for her. We've been passing out flyers. We've been calling people. We've been knocking on doors. We have done some of everything. And we're asking anybody that has any information, I don't care who it is, please come forth, contact the police department. Her life could be in danger. Please call the police department. I want my baby home. And I'm asking in the name of Jesus, and I stand on my faith that he's going to bring her home. But if we all can come together and help find her, I'm telling you, we can make a difference. She's been missing.
Girl, shut the hell up. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just going to be real frank with you. I am pissed with the grandmother because if your grandbaby that you care so much about, that comes to you about everything, is missing, BITCH, I'm on the police head that night. I don't give a damn about you're going to have to wait 24 hours in order to report. I'm here today. The same way y'all do Amber Alerts for those other little kids, I'm going to need y'all to get one on mine right now. I got time. I'm kicking my feet up in your office and we gonna wait and we gonna figure this out. Like, she's missing. Where's she at? So for you to, I'm sorry. I know some people are gonna be like, well, Jami, don't come down on her, girl. You're gonna have to go and watch all the hours of stuff that I have watched. And I didn't really watch anyone else to get influenced by their thoughts. I've only seen a bit of what Nick at Night put up, okay? I had already watched all of the court hearing, all of that before I even watched Nick at Night. So we about on the same page. I feel like grandmama, side eye. You stand on your faith. If we come together, we really could change that. Girl, you could have changed something that night had you hurry up and got to the police. Okay? I feel like the urgency wasn't fully there for her. And just this lack of emotion you have in this moment, you have a year later. But y'all leave y'all thoughts. I wonder who this woman is on the side. Is this supposed to be the aunt in the tan? I feel like she kind of looks like her a little bit based on the side profile that we saw. Well, you guys may not have seen it yet, but when we're watching the testimony in court, this kind of looks like her. I think her hair color is different, right? But girl, that pisses me off. I feel like ain't no way you could be with this man and be all on social media with him and nobody gives you a detail or a clue about his past. Like I just feel like y'all didn't care. And let me tell you what have people in the chokehold when you think a person ain't gonna do to you what they've done to somebody else.
Since she's been gone too long, I can't sleep,
And
can't
had,
eat.
and let me say this with the aunt, baby, you had multiple children with this man, multiple.
Just bring her home, please.
Girl, you ain't sharing not now
That's all
tear,
I'm asking. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
not now fucking tear for all of this cracking of your voice. I'm not saying eat motherfucking thing. Pack her up
One more, Chief.
and get her the
One
fuck
more
out of here.
Community minister.
I understand that some people may react differently in these type of situations. Everybody grieves different as well, but pack her ass up. Because the way you talked about her in court a year later versus when it first happened, come on now. And again, I'm not saying she had anything to do with this baby going missing. All right. But I just feel like the urgency wasn't there. And I feel like if the urgency wasn't there, it's because you may feel like this is behavior she often shows. And you got on the stand and lied and contradicted all of that. Right? Making it seem like your relationship with her is so close and you check her phone and this and that. Girl, cut it the fuck out. Cut it the hell out. I mean, he really got into that baby's head so much so that she was discussing doing a threesome. And he's like, with who? And this is another thing I wanted to mention too. Her name is Naziah, but I believe she has a little cousin by the name of Janiyah, from my understanding. I believe that is the aunt's daughter. And I guess they both were supposed to go up to the shop because he says he has the kids come up to the shop to help to clean up and he pays them. And I remember she asked him in a text message, are you picking up Janiyah today? And he was like, no, why? And she was like, oh, okay, good. And he was like, you didn't want her to come anyway. And she was like, nah, because she be doing too much or whatever like that. And I'm like, what? So at first I was thinking to myself, doing too much how? Does he also have a similar relationship with his daughter the way that he has with you? Is that something that's going on? Because she says she be doing too much anyway and you all mine. So when I hear that, I'm like, are you saying that from a perspective of this little girl being violated and having that type of love for her dad? Or are you saying this because that's her dad and you're jealous of her a bit because that's her dad, even though you're like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was just trying to decipher what was that message about, but it more so made me think about him potentially violating his daughter. Since you just got this hard on to just hunch on any and every damn thing. No matter who, what age, or any of that. But if you paid attention and you looked on the hearings, a lot of the women that he's messed with were darker women, bigger women, women that a lot of people would not find to be attractive, women that are likely going to have lower self-esteem, and women with children. Okay, that's going to be glad to have a little lighter skinned man with some soft texture hair or whatever the case is that's interested. Somebody that they can parade around and have on their arm and have some beautiful kids with. Whole time, this motherfucker is a pedo. You let a predator into your house. Oh, wow, grandmama. And I'm on your ass, ma'am. I'm sorry because I'm a little pissed off about it. You know what I'm saying? That shit got me hot. Whew. Because you trying to protect your daughter from, I'm sorry, because she would call those Naziah and the brother, her brother or whatever, her kids or whatever. But you will protect your grandkids from their mama so much so that you'll adopt them. But you couldn't protect them from this nigga. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Now I want to know, what's really up with your daughter? What's up with Naziah's mom and why is she not around? Was she battling something? Were you guys often, was she potentially violated at a young age by somebody you was dating? Like, bitch, I can't. Hot about it. Hot about it. I want to get into more, okay? I have a few more news clips over here that's gonna like round it out and hopefully fill in some of the blanks if I did not. All right. So let us get into that.
Testimony from another child today alleging sexual abuse by the same man accused of killing 13-year-old Naziah Harris. And we're learning of new DNA analysis that could determine whether Jarvis Butts goes on trial for murder. Sean Lay following today's hearing for us. And Sean, this chilling case, it just keeps getting worse and worse as we learn more.
Chilling is a good way of putting it. Stomach turning also. Every witness, every hour here at the court. Here's what's new about this today.
This is the first time we're hearing the voice of Jarvis Butts. He is 41 years old. He is accused of the sexual abuse and murder of a 13-year-old girl named Naziah Harris. She was related to one of Butts' many girlfriends, and he called Naziah his niece. The teen was last seen with Butts after school last January 9th. Then Naziah Harris went missing. Police brought Butts in for this interrogation during a search for her, where Butts told police everything he knew about the girl was on his cell phone that police seized during a search warrant. You have to listen very closely to pick up what Butts is saying, but he says he has nothing to hide.
Everything is in my phone. Y'all have possession of my phone. Take a look at it. Go through it. So I don't know what that's about. I don't know why she said.
A co-worker of Butts testified that Butts and Naziah Harris were at their auto repair shop the evening Naziah Harris vanished. But Butts told investigators the last time he saw Naziah was weeks before.
He stated to me that he had last seen her at the end of December or early January sometime at the grandmother's house getting her hair done.
Okay. And did he say anything about knowing where Naziah's bus stop was?
Yes.
Okay. What did he say about that?
He said that her bus stop was at a 3-mile drive in Cornwall.
Back here live outside 36th District Court. Keep in mind, everyone, this is not a trial. It's a preliminary examination to see if a judge will move Butts on to face a murder and sexual assault trial. It's going to continue tomorrow. What's happening here is that there's no body to point to. Naziah Harris's remains have never been found, so prosecutors are taking the time to link every dot they can to this defendant. We'll be here tomorrow. It'll also be streaming live on Local 4+. Check it out.
Girl, that case, I just can't. Like, that should make you super emotional. I see why his sister got on that stand and she just started crying. Like, when they had took a break and they walked out and she just was like crying, I also wonder if she has been a victim to his bullshit when she was younger, right? I did see some stories where people tried to say that he was touched by some women or lost his virginity to an older woman, so he went on doing it to other folks. Like, girl, y'all trying to figure out a way to blame this on a woman. That's that fuck nigga actions, period. Okay? Period. Anything to excuse this nigga from being a pedophile, that's what the fuck he was. Okay? And I really hate that for that little girl. Like, that shit just it really makes me so fucking mad, bro. So mad. So mad. She didn't have her mom and them. Don't know why her daddy wasn't around. He's now passed away, even though he was looking for her. Don't know if he couldn't get custody of her or what that backstory is, that the grandma got custody. He's supposed to protect her. She's being violated by this aunt who I feel knew exactly what this nigga was on. Okay? Period. And you still went on to have fucking kids by him. He played with this girl for more than a fucking year. And you mean to tell me you bitches ain't see nothing? I refuse to believe. That means if you ain't see her, you wasn't paying attention to her. You weren't in tune with her like that. That's just what I would think. Okay? After, like, come on. Y'all wasn't paying attention from 2022 all the way up until 2024, and you bitches mean to tell me that girl stayed in the same house with y'all and y'all didn't even know that girl was pregnant, as small as she is? Y'all didn't even notice that? You wasn't checking in, bitch. Sitting up there on the stand trying to paint a certain picture. I was pissed listening to this fucking hearing. I said, you know what? Let it go to trial, because I want to hear everything. So how soon can you guys start? When is the trial starting? I don't know if they said it, but I know the judge called his ass a fucking monster, as she should have. Okay? Like, girl, that shit got me so like, what is y'all on? It's the trying to be fake and save face for me in front of everybody. Naziah was this. She was this. She was a good kid. She did this and that. Yeah, I always checked her phone. Girl, go on. Go on, ma'am. Go on, ma'am. Whew. Let's see what they talking about.
You know, the murder of Naziah Harris has captured national attention. Her body never found, but we have learned so much about what detectives believe happened to her in the time leading up to her murder.
Tomorrow morning, the case moves to Wayne County Circuit Court, where the man accused of killing her, Jarvis Butts, will be arraigned on murder charges. Our Sean Lay has covered this case since his arrest, and tonight takes us inside the case. Sean?
3 names to remember. Here's Zion Foster, Detroit teen. There was a search for her right at this very Lenox Township landfill. Now, Ashley Elkins, there's a search going on for her right now at the same landfill. Naziah Harris, there was not a search here at the landfill. A chief investigator on that case is also here, however. There's a search for her Metro Detroit wide. Let's focus on Naziah Harris right now and catch you up on the things you did not know about that disturbing case.
Detroit should never forget the name Naziah Harris. Now, just take a moment and look at the last photo taken of this child. Naziah Harris was a child. She was 13 years old. Study her face. Look at the light in her eyes. Naziah took this final photo of herself at school January 9th, 2024. She was never seen again. Prosecutors believe she was pregnant. She was brutally murdered. The child's body has never been found. When charges were brought, Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy highlighted this photo in a heartbreaking way.
She is smiling and waving and saying hello. But little did she know that she was really saying goodbye.
The next thing Detroit should never forget is how 36th District Court Judge Aaliyah Sabri at a hearing last week called out many adults in Naziah's life, saying they also failed this child.
From what I have heard over the last 4 days and 5 days total is that several people failed her. I don't know where her mother is. I don't know anything other than that she was forced to live in a home where she was not protected or given adequate attention and love.
Right.
But Judge Sabri went further about how family members in Detroit also failed this little girl before she even mentioned the name of the man sitting in front of her, Jarvis Butts, the man at the center of a 5-day hearing. Bit by bit, prosecutors here worked to connect the dots that Butts allegedly abused Naziah over a long period of time sexually, allegedly controlled her life. Prosecutors say Butts got Naziah pregnant, and the judge said she believes all of the evidence shows Butts allegedly tried to abort the pregnancy himself. The judge says she believes Butts injured Naziah and then murdered her.
You know, that is a question for me. First of all, this fuck nigga shouldn't even be allowed to sit in court with no damn mask on, holding his head down, looking like he on the brink of crime. We do not give not one piece of a fuck about how you feel, you bitch ass nigga. Okay? And whether you killed her or not, you was violating her, period. You killed her, spirit, for sure. For fucking sure. Okay? He needs to be able to sit up there, take that fucking mask off, bitch. And let us see your whole ass face. And I also was wondering if he linked up with Naziah to give her something to terminate the pregnancy, and it ended up harming her, ultimately leading to her death. And he had to hide her of some capacity. Either that, or as the judge said, he likely gave her something. Whether it took or didn't take or whatever, he ended up murdering her shortly after that, because he was already going to court or having to turn himself in for violating another child, from my understanding. Around the same time Naziah went missing, he was supposed to be locked the fuck up. Okay? For a whole nother case. And I guess he didn't want her to be on the outs and end up giving birth to a child, because it wasn't going to be long before she had to give birth, because I believe she texted him at the end of August or sometime in September, where she talked about trying to do the gym, and she couldn't with this baby. So I don't know how far along she was, but it's giving that she was getting ready to have birth at some point. And if that girl's stomach was that far along, even if it was 5 months, whatever it was, y'all mean to tell me y'all didn't notice that on her? And like, y'all didn't notice her gaining weight? And if her eating patterns aren't changing, then what? Did she just wear big clothes and y'all just let her get, like, y'all just, whatever it was, y'all weren't checking in with that baby like y'all should. And y'all just didn't protect her. And y'all didn't have the necessary conversations with her about how things are supposed to go, what's supposed to happen. It's not normal. If an older man is trying to interact with you or talk to you, that is against the law. Whatever it was, the proper conversations y'all needed to have, y'all didn't have that with her. She didn't have the guidance. And it really hurt. It's really sad, y'all. It's really, really sad. Like, I'm just so sorry.
And tried his best to cover it up.
But without finding Naziah's body, investigators focused on Butts. They had to find his cell phone. Butts told police he had nothing to hide and told police to go through his phone.
Stupid bitch.
So I don't know what that's about. I don't know why she said it.
Apparently, Butts was right. There was nothing linking him to abusing or killing Neziah on his cell phone, but that's where Detroit police data experts dug in. Expert after expert detailing in court how they extracted all of the deleted material from his phone.
Exactly, but you could sit up there and you could play smart and play stupid or whatever the case is with them dumbass bitches that you done sat up there and got pregnant and stuff. You could play on their intelligence, but what you're not finna do is bring your ass to the police house and think that you finna play on their intelligence like they don't have experts. You've been around here flying high and laying low all at the same damn time. And the gag is, them ladies saw what the hell was going on the whole time. They just didn't want to believe it because they was too busy trying to get the zick or whatever the fuck the case was. And Bout knew about each other from my understanding, knew he had multiple bitches. Just stupid. I don't want to hear that. Don't tell me SHI about taking it easy on nobody, because I might mess around and drag your ass too in the comments because I'm that pissed the hell off. Yes, I am, okay?
Web searches, how to abort a pregnancy using antifreeze. And then the thousands upon thousands of text messages he sent to Neziah. Detroit Police Sergeant Shannon Jones and her team got those deleted texts, and for hours, Jones read hundreds of those texts in court.
Hundreds of, do you hear me? Do you hear me? I'm talking about, I think that video probably like 2 hours long. I think. But she was going through them. And, you know, when you're listening, you have to remember that this is a 13-year-old child that this man is talking to like that, y'all. Some of y'all got nieces. Some of y'all got children that age. Some of y'all probably teach kids this age. Okay? And don't know what they probably dealing with at home. Lord. So all of that fast talking, she was fast. Y'all need to throw that shit away. I feel like back in the day, people said fast to excuse the behavior of known pedophiles in the family or around the family. That's always a protection for them. And once again, another indicator of how things are put on the girl and not the boys and men in the situation. It always falls back on us. And as a mother with 2 sons, I'm especially with my oldest that'll be 21, I'm definitely on his head top about stuff. So certain way you need to show up. Certain way you need to operate and give respect. Like, it's just, I just can't. Like, what the fuck, bro? You bitches, I'm mad. The lack of, I just can't. Is it bad I want them locked up too? For not protecting her?
Text after text showing a 42-year-old man in complete control of a 13-year-old girl.
He sends her a text that says, "Are you naked yet?" She replies to him and says, "No, I don't want to get naked." She replies, "Are you mad that I didn't get naked?"
5 days of this preliminary hearing, Butts was hunched over behind his lawyer with a mask on. I watched him for 4 days. He never looked up once. Jarvis
Bitch ass nigga. Like, girl, and then I hate it for the attorneys. Being an attorney and seeing how this man is, like, and hearing this stuff, like, how do you move forward and represent a nigga like this? Child, I would never want to be in that position.
The last person, prosecutors say, who was with Neziah. The final person, the judge says, who failed Neziah Harris.
And while I mentioned other people that failed her, Jarvis Butts, you are the monster in this whole.
Fuck that. Cause let me tell you something. I couldn't be the judge. You better stand your pussy when I'm talking to you. Is what he would have had to do in my courtroom. You can remove that fuck ass mask. And you need to look me in my eyes because I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to the top of your fucking head. I need you to hear what the hell I'm saying. At the end of the day. Now, we're going to take your bitch ass to trial to find out whether or not you actually committed the crime of murdering her. But what we do know for a fact is that you violated her. Now, stand your bitch ass up like you was standing up when you was over there sending them text messages and stuff. Because I got some shit I got to say. And if you look down, it's giving disrespect in my courtroom, okay? I wish she would have wore his ass out a little bit more.
Picture.
Being in there every single day was chilling every single day. If you're watching right now and your phone's next to you, take a moment, grab the phone, open up the camera, take a look at that QR code with that camera that's on your screen right now. That'll link you right to clickondetroit.com, and all those text messages, the thousands of them presented into evidence and much more on this horribly disturbing case. Guys, this gives us a chance to talk about all the people who are missing right now in the city of Detroit. So many people missing. I've been asking Detroit police for a week, just give me a number of people who are missing right now in the city. They've not been able to provide the number because it keeps changing, and the team that goes out looking for the missing people are out looking and still have not had a chance to compile the number. That's how big the big picture here is, how many people are missing in this city. We'll continue to follow the Naziah Harris case. So
I can't. Oh, it's so sad, y'all. I just can't. It just hurts. I hate it for this baby. Lord have mercy, Jesus. And they do need some type of organizations like Found. Y'all watch this show, Found? On Peacock. I just kind of got into it, and I absolutely love it. I think it's supposed to be coming back this year, hopefully this month or next month, not sure yet, but I love it. And I'm like, yo, we really need like a whole nother organization, outside of 1-800-MISSING and stuff. Like, nah, y'all need somebody local too. Some people that's out there ready to get to work, boots on the grounds, to help find these missing kids, It's just sad, y'all. Y'all got to look into the case for yourselves and check it out. Any new information that I have, I'll definitely, do my best to provide that, to you guys or whatnot. But it's just such a freaking sad story that he was able to finesse his way in, manipulate this baby girl, violate this baby girl. And she had nobody around, like, protecting her at all. I'm just super disappointed, child. I just can't. Grandmama ain't got no tears, up there lying on the stand. Damn, aunt acted like she ain't know shit about nothing that was going on, but you knew about his history, I'm sure, and still continue to have babies with this nigga. Like, girl, go away from us with this. FS. And what did you know, Miss Fiance, for you to still be sitting up there engaged to his ass? I think she may not be engaged to him now, but you was before, so you ain't know nothing at the time, bitch. Like, girl, this shit got me hot as fuck. Oh. Y'all, I need to tap on up out of this because I can't. Y'all leave y'all thoughts. Okay, any new additional details that I'm not privy to, you guys need to send me some links. You know what I'm saying? Send them to me. Hit me up on IG. Or, probably just add me on Twitter. I'll probably see it faster on Twitter or something like that, Blue Sky or whatever the case is. But yeah, y'all, thanks for watching. Sorry for the so dark video because it's super dark and it definitely kind of shifted my energy just a little piece, y'all. But that's all I got, honey. I'm JamiThatsMe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invade the gym, high elevated